Few animal stories here. Experts are saying not to do this. A woman has posted on her social media. She was off the coast of Mexico in a whale expedition, and they indeed did have a baby whale come up next to their boat. But instead of just watching, I mean, it's a dream come true, I guess, if you're doing this. She reached down and literally put her hand in the baby whale's mouth. But then when Mom came over, she had to remove it quickly.
Hi, honey. Oh, you're awesome. You can smell. Oh, I got my hand in a whale's mouth. Oh, look at you. Hi, Bubbles. Hi. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, the Mom's right here, too. Careful, Mom's right here.
Here comes Mom. They have to get back.
I wish those would have been her last words.
I was really hoping for more of a payoff.
Yeah, I was thinking for a splash.
Where's the chomp?
She didn't
get yanked overboard.
chomp. No,
exactly. I would have loved for her to say, I've got my hand in a whale's...
Ay, Dios mío!
A whale drags her to the bottom of the ocean.
La turista!
Yeah. That's how that should have played out.
Madre de Dios.
Just like the people that get too close to the elk at Yosemite and Yellowstone.
Yes, we've seen that. Well, we have some of these that have gone wrong. It reminded me of, and Biggie too, the woman who touched the snake. She got close to, was it a rattlesnake?
You're a big old snake or something?
You're a big one.
You're a long boy. That's the snake skin we saw. It was yours, huh? I'm going to touch you on the tail and see what you do. Whoa, you're mean. Are you a bad snake?
Does that answer your question?
You go, yeah, I am. How's that?
Tell your friends.
Pull my tail again, bitch.
That's the end to her.
That poor whale in Mexico. I can't get this taste out of my mouth. Fat American.
Yeah. Ugh, it's like Frito.
It's so, I just can't.
One guy.
I need some krill.
There was another. Now, I'm still taking krill.
You are not.
I am. I have krill. A colleague told me to take krill oil.
A colleague, yes.
For my...
You have to poop underwater joints when you go.
You're winding me up again. Last time
boatloads of tourists go by your house.
Can I put my hand in your mouth?
See him breach.
Like that Pacific Insurance company.
That's another one. Remember there was a guy, similar thing, out whaling on a whale expedition, and they breached, and his whole boat. We have
was he in like in a kayak? Was it underneath him?
He was in a small vessel, and there was like a pod near him.
They keep coming up over here behind the seagulls. Oh, do you think is that what happened earlier? Did they breach? I hear them. Holy shit. Oh my God, they're right in front. Oh my God, this is... Oh my God, I just shit myself.
He did. He did. It was literal.
Same thing. I wish that had been his last noise. Oh my God! Drag him down.
I put myself.
Whales can communicate. I really wish.
They are communicating about the humans.
Hey, you distract him with something cute, and I'll murder him.
You gonna use your tail this time, Bob?
Yeah. All right,
send the baby up there first.
Send little bubbles.
Watch him lose it. It breach the water, and watch how crazy they get.
Should I hit him from underneath, or should I slap down on him with my tail?
Both.
Dealer's choice. Up to you.
Listen to your heart.
And then the woman, it reminded me too of the woman who was taking care of a horse. And the horse, apparently this happens. The horse had such bad gas.
They get indigestion, can't belch, right?
Can't belch. Is that true that horses cannot belch?
Didn't we learn that?
Yes. Because this woman...
If they eat something that disagrees with it, it has to go one way.
That's right. And don't
they can't puke.
They cannot vomit and maybe can't belch, so they have to pass gas. And that's what this horse is doing.
Oh, so good.
She loved it. Yeah. She was so into that. You know, this is animals.
Yeah, the audio of the fart was better than hers. So you know where the phone was.
You're right. She had it down there ready to go.
Satisfying.
You know, I had a pickleball experience recently where...
What'd you do out there?
Well, a colleague and dear friend said as we were walking in, I've got a terrible gas bubble sitting right here. It's going to come out eventually. He just said that.
Up or down?
Down. It was going down. He's like, I've got terrible gas. Now, he wasn't my partner, but I was directly across the net. And about 30 minutes later, bam, explosion. And he said, there it is. Sorry, guys. That's
Audible?
it. Oh, yeah. He said.
He didn't care.
No. He just said, there it is. I apologize. He had something like a black bean burrito or something earlier. He said it was a burrito I had for lunch. I apologize. It's like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that healthy food y'all eat, that'll make you gassy.
Speaking of pickleball, I have a couple of thoughts. One, I thought of you. I had to take my wife's car in for service the other day, and I think I may have showed you this. In the waiting room of the car shop, there were 2 magazines. One was Wine Spectator, and the other was Pickleball.
Oh, you did share
Pickleball
that. You did see that. Yes, you
so
did.
you have your own magazines now.
I'm telling you, that's just right.
It is. And so my second thought was, Kelly, have you, now that you're spending more time with your family since your pickleball dreams are dashed, how are they enjoying that?
I haven't seen really any reaction from that. I know my son does not love it.
Have you announced to the family that your
No.
wish board has changed?
My dream board.
Your vision board.
Vision board.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. But, you know, because I practiced so much in the garage and then just go. I mean, I've been dinking like you wouldn't believe. And then I go out there in the course like I've never dinked before in my life.
Yeah.
Now now I'm having dreams about it where I'm dinking so poorly they're just slamming it down my throat. It's such a mental game, you know, it really is. And
have you hit the 10,000 hour mark? That mythical, what do they call it?
That's when you're
outlier.
That's when you're an expert.
10,000 hours.
Yeah. You know, I don't know that that's true though, because I feel like we've done this show for 10,000 hours, and
without a doubt,
there's no question about that. And I don't think
we put in the time.
Yeah, we have. I don't think that 10,000 hours is real.
Translates to expert level.
I don't think so. And I have not played 10,000 hours of pickleball yet. There's just no way I have.
What's your average a day? Hours? 3?
Well, yeah, 3 when we play, but I only play like 3 days a week. So I'm about 9 hours a week, I'd say, playing pickleball.
You've been doing it a year now, a year and a half?
A little over a year, right? Started spring of last year. So I don't know exactly how many. I don't think it's 1,000 yet, but boy, today's my 1100th class at the gym. It'll be 1,100
Good
hours.
Lord.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I looked at that yesterday, so there's that going for me.
You celebrate that?
No, at 1,000 you took a picture and everything, but at 1,100 I don't think anything's.
You might get some extra high fives.
That'd be cool.
Maybe. I'm letting.
Are they allowed high fives?
Air
Still
five.
air?
We air 5, yeah. Well, they say whatever you're comfortable with.
I see.
But most people just air 5 now. We don't touch each other. Numbers are going back up.
How come you have 2 gym bags in your car?
Why don't you just... Here he goes again.
Well, I mean, you know, and I got out this morning, and I just happened to line up with your back seat, and there's 2 gym bags in there.
2.
When my car was recently redone by Crescent Ford's Body Shop.
Yeah.
Looks great inside.
Doesn't look great.
Yes.
Look, from the exterior, it's spectacular.
That's right. My wife said, I want you to put an extra gym bag in there, and then and when things get loose, like a bag or a chicken and pickles bag or just anything that's like
just random litter,
put it in that gym bag so it keeps it confined. Then later empty the gym bag, so that it's not all over the place.
You know what's going to happen? You and the Diesel will somehow make it to Spring Nationals in Naples. You'll get down there and open up your bag, and it's your garbage bag.
You got the wrong one.
Oh, absolutely.
The wrong bag.
That would be the worst thing. It would be so
Get me to
bad.
the closest dicks.
So,
Wait,
what is this? It's a $12 salad box.
The store or like dicks?
Here in Naples, we can make anything happen. Bro.
Driver, take me to Dick's. I'd peg you for that. All right. If you want.
I got several options here.
I mean, if you want it.
You want the store like the sporting goods, the restaurant that insults you, or, dicks.
Man, that's my worst nightmare. That is my worst nightmare. If I had to play with a Dick's paddle, oh my God.
You never make nationals. You won't even get a bronze.
I'm specialty ordering now. That's just all I can do. Today, I have in that gym bag.
Which one?
The good one.
Okay.
Bag A.
Bag A. I have put in that, and I put in that Johnny Carson book that you recommend. I just read it.
I saw it sitting in the front seat. Then that crusty orange towel.
Stop. Stop looking in my windows. I want my windows tinted. See, every time he does this, people email me and say, "Get your windows tinted," because he's a snoop.
Well, if they're going to do that, that should have been done already. You missed it.
I should have told them.
You want to go without it for another 8 months?
No, because every time he's like, "What's the sled doing in the back of you in the winter?" It's like this and that. All these things. Dave will say, "I saw that crusty orange towel in there."
Is that a marshmallow?
That's right.
I like them in my hot chocolate.
It's a full size.
That's private. All of that is private.
I'm sorry.
It's in my vehicle, and I think you press your face in there. You say it's just you glance, but I think you press your face in there and you wind me up. I know that's happening. I'm giving that book to my friend Jean, who's asked for it, who I'll see today.
Okay.
And she wanted to read that Johnny Carson book. Now, yesterday, Dave told me, we mentioned this.
Is she of the age who remembers watching Johnny? Okay.
Yeah, she's my
that should
age.
help a lot.
And she loved Johnny Carson. Yeah. She's like, I had heard there's a good tell-all book about him, and this is the one. There's no question. I mean, it's a lot of behind the scenes.
His lawyer.
Yeah, his lawyer wrote it.
Are there other bios? I mean, I'm sure Johnny never wrote his memoir.
She said,
did he?
Well, she looked online. She emailed me yesterday and said, I looked online, and there's one by Bushkin, which is this one, which is the lawyer.
Seems to be the most inside.
I think so. Because he spent 20 years with him.
He didn't spend a lot of time with a lot of people, except for when in New York and stuff, when he used to actually go out.
This guy was really on the inside. I'll tell you a fascinating story about that is told in this book, which I don't know if you know this or not. But they were talking about comedians. Of course, Carson spent a ton of time with comedians, and he made so many careers, And there was just a sort of an aside story of a guy, I think his last name was Roy. I think it was like Jack Roy or something like that, who was doing his comedy act up in New York State, Catskills, and traveling around and getting nowhere. And so there was another sort of longtime comedian, same thing, not a household name at all. And they both
was a road warrior,
and both of them were road warriors. Mm-hmm. And they were going around mostly the Northeast doing their comedy act. And one night, and they were friends, and they were at a bar having drinks, getting drunk, really. And one suggested to the other, let's trade acts. Let's just swap acts and see if this will help. Well, one of them got the other's act and was never a famous person. The other one is Rodney Dangerfield. He changed his name to Rodney Dangerfield, took the other person's act. They swapped. And that's when he came.
No respect.
The no respect.
My wife,
the no respect. It was somebody else's first. I don't remember his name, but he didn't perform it well enough. He said, okay, well, let's just try it. So they agreed to each take each other's notes and each other's act. They'd seen each other many times, memorize it, and add to it. And and so he changed his name from, I think it was Jack Roy or Sam Roy, and he changed it to Rodney Dangerfield and did that act and became.
Whoa!
It was incredible.
Amazing.
It was an incredible story.
Worked out for him.
As an aside, yeah. And then Dangerfield, of course, was on the Carson show many times. And he wasn't an enormous star until he was older. He had, he was by the time he did Caddyshack, which was his first movie, he was 40-some, probably.
He certainly looked it.
Yeah,
He always looked old.
He always looked old.
That's just it. I never have seen a young Rodney Dangerfield.
Right. Yeah. Well, he wasn't famous until they swapped acts. Because he had done it for so long trying to break in and never got it until they swapped acts.
I guess Rodney's original act that the other guy got just didn't do much for him.
Didn't do it, yeah. And apparently this guy's act was gold. He just didn't deliver it properly. I mean, he was okay, but
Rodney has that look. I mean, it's just
exactly.
If you've seen him do the stand-up, you just can't separate the two.
Of course. Can you imagine?
He looks like he lived that life.
Right.
That's all he was, though. I mean, whenever he would come on Carson and do his act and then go sit on the couch, he would continue with the act. It's the same thing. Yes.
He
would never sit there and be
just hang.
His original, his normal person.
He's always in character.
He's always in.
Do you think any other comedians have ever said, "Look, it's not working for us. Let's just trade"?
No, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that happening before either.
It wouldn't shock me if it happened 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Before television, before radio,
yes.
vaudeville.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, I've heard of buying jokes or things like that, but not just
trading. They literally did. Yeah, they said that to each other, just at a bar, and they just decided after each of their acts, they had gone on together. One led in for the other.
Stand up is very. I mean, that's where a lot of comedians will go back to their roots, and like Seinfeld goes back. Leno still does it. Carson went out and did stuff even when he had the Tonight Show in the 70s.
That's right.
He would still go hit the road. He wouldn't promote it or anything, but he'd be like, "I'm going to go try this stuff out in Houston or in Little Rock," and he would just do stand up and show up and do it, and they'd let him on.
And Leno was
just to see if the jokes work.
Yeah, exactly. And Leno was always play. He was such a workaholic that he would play, wherever, and then he'd do the Tonight Show and then go out on the weekend and play. He loved doing that kind of stuff. Well, Dave showed me this, and I had never seen this before, but Johnny Carson one time we were talking about live commercials that they would do. They would have a product that he would promote, a new sponsor, and he would promote it there sitting at the desk next to Ed McMahon, and he'd say, this is a brand new gardening tool or whatever it might be. Well, this is from Mrs. Paul's. And apparently when they gave him the box of Mrs. Paul's frozen food, really it was a prop, and inside it was a block of wood.
We can't have rotting fish.
Right.
On the set of a television show.
Right. Well, apparently Johnny, much like some of our own colleagues, didn't read the copy up front.
Or even handle the prop.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's just like, just give it to me on the set. He's live. He's cold reading this, as we call
He
it.
don't care about stuff like that. But he has to do it because
That's right.
they're paying big money.
New sponsor to the show.
Okay. Hard as a carp. Is this really frozen or is
No, it's a pice of wood.
What?
A piece of wood in there.
Well, that's not a good buy, is it? People want food. We should point out, when you go to the supermarket and buy this, you do not get a piece of wood. We'd like to introduce a new sponsor.
Yes.
See, now he's in trouble, and he's like, oh, God, they're a sponsor.
no.
Oh, crap, they're a
It's the
sponsor.
first one.
That's like when I did flatizza.
Yeah.
That's when I did the
The rollout.
Oh, man.
The roll.
You see where that ended up.
Yep.
The rollout of the flatizza was as bad as it possibly gets. But Johnny has to continue, of course, because this is, obviously, he's got a new sponsor here.
What a nice welcome you had.
Fine sponsor, Mrs. Paul's. She lost her husband, Mr. Paul. Mrs. Paul's light seafood. No, I got to get this right because they're a new
Very
sponsor.
first appearance.
We'd like to welcome a new sponsor to the Tonight Show. Mrs. Paul's light soup. Mrs. Paul's light seafood entrees. For people who like everything about seafood, except cooking it. Mrs. Paul has done that for you. That sweet old lady.
Now, Dave says that's the best promotion Mrs. Paul's ever
But
got.
those things got sold through the roof that weekend.
The big thing you just can't do is read it cold. You just can't be handed the piece of copy to read cold, as I did.
The rarest of rare can pull that off.
Carson. Now, am I Johnny Carson? No, not even close to Johnny Carson. And so the day they handed me that Subway flatizza ad, it was right in front of me after Dave's Forecast. Dave's Forecast brought to you by Subway, introducing their new flatizzas, where cheesy and delicious meet crispy and square. Your choice of a cheese, pepperoni, spicy Italian, or veggie flatizza. Should that be flatizza or flatizza? I think it's.
You tell me.
I think it should be flatizza but it's spelled like pizza.
Because we don't say pizza,
but I said
we say pizza.
But when I said flatizza, that was it.
Chris Kelly, Subway bumper, take 2.
Yeah. From the top.
Take it from the top.
This copy was written for you. If anyone's going to handle it like a pro,
Let Chris Kelly read this.
He's a pro's pro.
He can do these weather adjacencies.
Real tears.
how hard can it be to say flatizza?
That's the thing. How hard could it be to say flatizza?
Do you think somehow that piece of audio made it to the boardroom at Subway?
The headquarters? It might have.